first guest tonight is an Emmy-winning actress and comedian you know from her work on Saturday Night Live and the Barbie movie. Her debut book, The Millicent Quibb School of Etiquette for Young Ladies in Mad Science, is out today. Please welcome back to the show our very good friend, Kate McKinnon, everybody. Welcome back, my friend.
Oh, thanks. It's good to... Thanks, Sarah. Hey, how you doing? Hey, good to see you. How you doing? Good to see you.
You know, it's lovely to have you in the city because I know and you know that you are basically now a woman of the woods.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. But I came to see all of you and to say hello.
You found your way to the country and the country has found its way into your heart.
I belong there.
Yeah.
I always did, and now I know for sure.
And it is so taken to you that you did a thing only people who live in the country do.
Yes.
You built your first cabinet.
I did. I did.
This is a cabinet this is no joke.
Thank you so much. You know, it's shop furniture, right? It goes under a router table. This isn't a shop. That's not a furniture grade cabinet, and I know that. But yeah, I did my best. Yes, I've become a woodworker and a carpenter. Whenever anyone asks me, yeah, you do it too? Cool. Let's talk after. Whenever anyone asked me, like, what would you be if you weren't a comedian, I would be like, I guess a carpenter, as a joke, but it was never a joke.
It was never a joke.
It was never a joke. I always wanted it. I wanted it so bad.
You finally let the carpenter out.
Yeah, yeah.
And you feel like you have it in you?
I don't know that I have a natural affinity, but I do. I have had a lot of teachers. I have to give a shout out to my mentors in carpentry, Jeff Johnson, Tom Senna, Fred Ricci, Pete Silva, and of course, Bob Rotaco. Yeah.
That's a classic carpenter move to keep the list.
In your breast, yes. No, these men have showed me how to not take my fingers off, and my dream now is to apprentice in a real cabinet shop. And there is a cabinet. Excuse me, sorry. You good, bud? No, there is a cabinet shop about 10 blocks from where I live in the city, and now I'm coughing. I always walked by this cabinet shop being like, oh my God, look at their beautiful work. Look at that beautiful 3/4 birch ply that they're making those cabinets out of. And I always was like, you know, in the musical Fun Home, when the little lesbian sees the butch woman for the first time and she's like, your ring of keys, I want. And I would look in and be like, my people. So finally, the other day, I go into this cabinet shop.
After you've built your cabinet?
After I built my cabinet.
So yeah, you've earned your right.
Well, I thought, I'm gonna go in and see what happens. So I went in and I was looking at beautiful work. And there were these two guys, like carpenter guys, and they were talking about the details of something. And I was just standing there for 10 minutes being like, and he was like, can I help you with something? And I was like, yes, excuse me, I'm a budding cabinet maker myself. Just wondering if do you make your own panel molding in-house or what's... And he was like, yeah, we make everything here. And I was like, do you on a router table or a shaper? And he was like, on a shaper. And that was a stupid question, because this is a professional shop. This guy's not running 100 linear feet of panel molding on a router table.
I mean, when you said it, I was like, hey.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. Anyway, then they were like, get out. Not get out. They were like, yeah, we're busy. And I left, and I was like, oh my God. I felt like I was like when I got carded at a lesbian bar when I was 19. I thought like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go in and they're gonna welcome me because it's my people. And then they sent me away.
I just like that their attitude was like, look, we get a lot of groupies at the carpentry shop. We get it. You ladies love our cabinets. But we're working, baby.
I thought, yeah, I thought they might be like, hey, come in, see the shop. You want to see the shop? No, they didn't want to show me the shop. They're busy.
They were busy.
I understand. They're professionals.
You're also, and explain to me exactly what this means. You're doing molding. You're doing the moldings in your home.
Yes, I'm making molding. It's a stupid thing to do, and no one should do that.
Did you have existing molding that you did not like?
Out.
Okay.
It's coming out, and I'm making my own, and it is riddled with mistakes. This stuff sucks. This stuff, you're gonna look at this and go, oh my God, she is decreasing the value of this home so bad. I mean, this is an art project. This is a 5th grade diorama that I am making, but it's a house. Anyway.
Do you think when people see the house, they'll think you've renovated everything but the moldings? And they're like, and I'm assuming the moldings will last?
Yes, exactly.
Because moldings are like, also like, there's so many.
Yes, there's so many different styles. I love, I'm a fan of Victorian molding. I grew up in a town with a lot of Victorian houses, and that's beautiful stuff. They don't make it like that anymore. Anyway.
You've done something else.
Yes.
You've written a book.
Oh, yes, I finished it.
You finished
Can you believe it?
Finishing it.
I finished it.
Finishing it is impressive because I read that you started it before you were on SNL.
Yes, I started it in my mid-20s.
Okay.
When I was not doing much, you guys. And I couldn't let it go. Even throughout every week off I had, I would work on it, and I couldn't get it out of my head. And so the second I left, I was like, now I will have a plan. The plan will be the book.
But that's also like years.
Yes.
Yeah. So like it seems like you were always really excited to work on it, and then it still took a really long time.
Well, I wrote the first chapter 500 times. So many times. I wrote the first chapter, could not make it to that second chapter, that all-important second chapter.
Do you feel like it's because you didn't know? Because the characters in the first chapter, it's about 3 young girls who get invitations to go to a mad scientist school.
Yes.
Very richly observed.
Bless.
And did you not in your head know what was supposed to happen next, or did you know and you were just intimidated by second chapter?
No, I knew. it wasn't right. I couldn't figure it out. And I honestly, like working at SNL all those years, just like sitting in a room while the funniest, smartest people are writing, and just watching, it taught me basically how to think and write. So, shout out to all my colleagues at SNL.
Another great thing about SNL. I think there's a lot of great character names in SNL sketches. And right off the bat, I laughed really hard because the narrator is telling the story to you.
Yes.
So you are writing this story as told to you by Edwina Candlestank.
Edwina Candlestank, who is a mad science historian, and she wrote the...
Did you have Candlestank from your mid-20s?
No, that was recent. That was because there's James Anderson.
Yes, of course.
Wonderful SNL writer.
It's literally who I think of when I think of the funniest name.
He was the name king, and he would come up with, my favorite name of all time was Myron Beliefs. And so many, just the most incredible names he came up with.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it wrong, but was it Rhys DeWhat?
Rhys DeWhat, that was a James Anderson. Yes,
D''what?
Rhys DeWhat?
But Edwina Candlestank, that's in the Pantheon right there. It's really
Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right, I have more to ask you about your process. We'll be right back with more from Kate McKinnon.